you kind of know if you're not going to be able to pursue something, and that was kind of me with quarterback or receiver. And I realized that my punting was much better than my quarterbacking was or receiving was. And so ever since my sophomore year, then I stopped specifically quarterback training and focused fully on punting.
It's not often that the punter on the football team is among the fan favorites. But when you're among the best in the nation at what you do and are an occasional offensive weapon, rising senior Kai Kroeger is pretty much a household name among Gamecock fans. He joins us now on Gamecock Talk.
All right, Kai, you're kind of a rock star at your position here. How often do you get recognized around campus?
Not as much as you'd think, but there's definitely moments, especially when I go to class or go to eat somewhere in the Vista or things like that, where people come up and ask, are you the punter? Are you Kai? And so that's definitely pretty cool, but not as much as probably some of the other guys.
Did you ever think that, obviously it's great to be on a Power 5, Division I, SEC team playing football, but did you ever think, being the punter, that you'd be this popular?
Definitely not, and I think that's why it's made it so much more fun for me, just because when that happens and someone comes up to me, it's kind of like, wow, they know the punter. It's pretty cool. But
when did you start kicking, and when did you know you were good at it?
I started kicking in 6th grade and kind of realized that it's something I could pursue probably freshman year of high school. And I had a friend that had gone to this kicking organization called Cole's Kicking, and he kind of told me, you should go try out, go to this showcase camp. And ever since then, I've been training at it and committed to it.
Now, initially, you weren't just the punter. You were quarterback and receiver. What led the decision of this is where I'm going to focus?
I think it probably came after my freshman season. I realized that, you kind of know if you're not going to be able to pursue something, and that was kind of me with quarterback or receiver. And I realized that my punting was much better than my quarterbacking was or receiving was. And so ever since my sophomore year, then I stopped specifically quarterback training and focused fully on punting.
Well, obviously you've become popular because of a lot of the trick plays on special teams with all the fake punts and the 3 touchdown passes. You're 6 for 6 throwing the football here at South Carolina. So I guess those skills that you had from your high school days still carried over.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I had trained with the local college coach or quarterback coach throughout middle school and high school. So that's definitely helped me now in college.
What's going through your head when you get the nod saying, "Hey, we're running the play"? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't really have much time to think because a lot of times we get that call right as we're running on the field or right before. But a lot of times I'll just kind of think, we've ran this so many times in practice. Hopefully the defense should do what we think they're going to do, and if that happens, then the play will work perfectly. And I'm not really thinking about any mechanics or anything like that.
Well, you've had some big throws in addition to some big kicks, but we talked about it before. Go ahead and give us your favorite touchdown pass.
Definitely the one against Notre Dame this past year to Hunter. That was awesome.
Carolina now looks like they may fake the field goal. And here is Kroeger down the middle of the field to Hunter Rogers. Touchdown Carolina. Touchdown Hunter Rogers on another Pete Lembo special. The Gamecocks strike against Notre Dame for a 23-yard touchdown throw. Oh my goodness, Kroeger.
How about him look?
So, it was a pretty good catch, so who gets more bragging rights, you for throwing it or him for catching it?
That's tough. I like to think that, I like to take maybe more of the credit for the throw, but I know he's going to disagree and want to take all the credit. He did make the catch, and if he doesn't catch it, we don't score. So.
All right. Well, you're also the holder, which is another special teams. I think is mostly pressure. Whether it's kicking or holding. What's more difficult, or what takes, a stronger mentality?
I think more difficult to get right every time is probably holding, just because the kickers are so specific. And I've now worked with Mitch for 3+ years, so I know how he likes it, but every kicker is just a little different. And how Parker liked it wasn't the same as Mitch or Alex or that kind of thing. So in terms of specifics, I'd say holding is harder to get right every time. But I'd say the mindset-wise and technicality, I'd go punting for sure.
When people look at punting, they're just going to look at punting average most of the time. The average football fan's like, oh, well, this guy punts for more yards. But what do you look at? What makes a good day or a good year for you?
I think the most important stats would be net average and inside the 20. Just net average incorporates more hang time and directional punting as well. because, if you hit a great punt with great hang time and distance, they're not going to get a return. And so that gives you the true yardage, whereas, you hit a 60-yard punt, the average will be 60, but if they return it for a touchdown, then, your net average is nothing. So I like net average and punts inside the 20 are most important, trying to keep them backed up.
I was going to say, so you'd prefer to, chalk one up or check one up around the 1 yard line as opposed to a 75-yard punt?
Definitely, yeah, definitely more important.
And so I guess you have to practice both, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And how often are you kicking? Because we talked before we went on the air here about dead leg. You don't want to overuse it. So I guess what's a typical week during the season like for you?
Yeah, so Tuesday is typically our heavy punt day. So that's where I'm punting, pretty much all my punts during the week. And so I try to limit it to Tuesday and Saturday in terms of full punts and punting a lot. But then during the other days, I'll hit just a few different types of punts. We have like the banana, the knuckleball, these types of punts. So I'll play around and see, what's working, what's not working. But yeah, the other days are more so just holding and working on other parts of the special teams.
Okay. How many tackles have you made in your career here?
One tackle.
Tell me about it. You have to remember it, right?
Yes, Georgia, freshman year. It was not a very good game, and hit a punt. It was actually pretty good, but right as I hit it, you could see that Georgia, they've always been very sound on special teams, and so they're blocking our guys like perfectly. And it was Kyrus Jackson, and he takes it up the sideline, and I hadn't really ran downfield, and so I'm kind of seeing this unfold in front of me. And next thing I know, he breaks through a gap, and it's just me and him. And so I kind of shuffle in front of him and drop down to his legs and just kind of wrap him up, trying not to get embarrassed or ran over, but made the tackle, so that was good.
Kyrus Jackson, after a great punt, will take it near the 35. He's got daylight. Watch out here. He's got Kroeger to beat. Cuts it back, and Kroeger saves the touchdown inside the 15.
What's going through your head, though? Were you a little bit you're a big guy. You're not a small guy, but out on the football field, there's a lot of bigger guys. So what's going through your head?
I was terrified, especially, now I'm probably 30 pounds or so heavier than I was my freshman year. And, I'm still not the biggest guy, like you said. So imagine 30 pounds less than what I am now. So I'm, extra small compared to the other guys. So yeah, I was scared for sure.
You wear a mouthpiece when you're kicking?
I don't. No.
You weren't thinking about it after that?
No, maybe a little bit I thought about it, but yeah, no, I don't.
Okay, well, education-wise, tell us again what you're studying here, and I know you have plans to go into law enforcement.
Yeah, so I'm a history major with criminal justice, and I'd like to go into kind of FBI, maybe CIA type field.
Is there any particular reason that you got in that direction?
Yeah, I've always had an interest in kind of the military, law enforcement, just because I've had some family in the military, and one of my cousins went from the military to law enforcement, so it's just kind of been something I've been interested in. But I'd say really in the last year or two is when I kind of looked at different careers, talked to different people that I knew, and realized that it was something that I really could see myself doing.
You were among the semifinalists last year for the Ray Guy Award. How much does something like that mean to you? Is that something you say, you know what, I want to win that award this year?
Yeah, it's huge, especially I was a junior, so I was still maybe a younger guy compared to some of the other guys that were in it. But so seeing the success I had last year and kind of where people were putting me on some lists, I try not to focus too much on the outside noise, but it's definitely good to receive those kind of things. But yeah, like you said, it's going to be motivation, and now obviously I'm trying to win the award.
What's on your wish list for a trick play this year? What do you want to see? We've already seen you throw,
yeah,
running it, catching it. What do you want to do?
I'd say both. I'd like to get touchdowns would be great, but at least the first down, catching or running with it, I think would be pretty cool.
If you run with it, is it going to be up the middle or is it going to be around the end and out of bounds?
I'd like to avoid going up the middle, unless there's a gap and it's like part in the Red Sea. But yeah, no, I'd like to maybe go outside or show off some more athleticism.
Maybe get the mouthpiece for that. Work
maybe,
on the stuff.
yeah, just grab it for that play.
Okay, but you're not. But so for that, we talked earlier. You're not in the quarterback room, right?
No.
Okay, you're going to get into the receiver or the running back room if
it's too much running.
Too much running.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good enough. Well, Kai, appreciate the time. Best of luck to you this year.
Yeah, thank you.